Okay, this is officially happening. The National Guard is deploying to Portland. Now here's my disclaimer. I just made a whole YouTube video and then boom, all of a sudden, this happens. So we're just going to talk about this and then you can watch the YouTube video. It really all comes together because it's the most recent update in the clashes. And we also saw a Black Hawk helicopter surround the Portland Federal Building, so things are starting to make sense. Basically, the document that was published to all of us is this document right here, showing that back on June 7th, President Donald Trump isolated 2,000 National Guard personnel in order to protect ICE or other federal workers involved with ICE. So this is it. This is official. Pete Hegseth has come out and said, we have 200 members of the Oregon National Guard will be called into federal service immediately for a period of 60 days. Okay, so this is going to be a 60-day operation, and that is pretty much all we know. Now, it's going to be assumed they will be deployed over at the Portland Federal Building, and if you're new here, this is what that looks like. It's a massive compound. I'm not going to say some of the details on the inside. You guys can go look that up yourself, but they can fit 60 troops in here, and I'll leave it at that. So this is presumably where these troops are going to be deployed, and one thing I'm going to say is this. I mean, this is going to be a massive step. They're being deployed to combat against Antifa, and that is all we're being told. So now we're going to continue to the video, and you'll see less than 24 hours ago, we already have clashes here. So this is why I'm saying the National Guard, it makes sense. They're going to be deployed right here. This is where all of the action is happening. Well, here we go again. The clashes continue between protesters and federal agents at this Portland Federal Building. It's been over 100 days in a row now. Now, we've never seen this before. A Black Hawk helicopter was circling the area all night, even during the clashes. Again, within the last 100 plus days, we've never seen this. So we have a lot to cover in this video, and again, we still have people saying everything is peaceful here, nothing to see here. We're going to cover all of it. Now, before we start the video, make sure to please like the video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, but it also helps others see the videos as well. And we started this story over 100 days ago. We need to let people know what's actually going on here. We've been covering it every single day, so please like the video.
Jelly! That's not a good idea. Get to the bathroom again, you asshole! You need to get back.
Once again, a friend of the channel, Honey Badger Mom, if you haven't already, make sure to go follow her on X. She went down into Portland to film what was going on, so me and you actually have the story. But remember, this happened to her just a week ago.
Help! Assault! Get up! Get up!
So remember, this attack on Honey Badger Mom, who is a journalist, she's allowed to cover this story, she was attacked a week ago. Yet we still have lawmakers who are saying there's nothing to see here. What are you talking about? This building is totally safe.
President Trump has directed all necessary troops to Portland, Oregon. The number of necessary troops is 0 in Portland and any other American city. And let me repeat that. This is an American city. We do not need any intervention. This is not a military target. The president will not find lawlessness or violence here.
So that was the mayor of Portland. Just a day ago, he said, there's nothing to see here. You're not going to find lawlessness. Now, here's what Honey Badger captured less than 24 hours ago.
We love you guys. Love you. No, I'm not getting close.
And again, if you're subscribed to my channel, you know we've been covering this story every single day. And unfortunately, there have been clashes every single day. We don't glorify or laugh at what we see. We're just talking about what we actually see and trying to report the truth. I am not creating a narrative. This is what you're seeing. This is Portland. We are well over 100 days now of this happening every single day, yet you have lawmakers who are saying, there's nothing to see here. Well, we can see it for our own eyes. Okay, for the new people here, the number one way or the number one reason you're going to see any clashes every single time we have highlighted for the most part why there's a clash is if you get in the middle of a driveway. When vehicles are trying to enter the building and leave the building, you have to get out of the way. Especially what we saw over in Dallas, it's already a very dangerous situation once that front gate opens. Now, something I want to point out is, hold on. The Portland Federal Building is not like any other. I mean, this is a massive building. It's almost like a castle. And it's also boarded up. There's plywood everywhere. So these agents are relatively safe compared to like every other agents within the United States. So again, the number one reason why we see clashes every single night is because the protesters know if we just stand in the way, the agents have no choice but to come face to face with us. And again, it's very unfortunate. We don't want to see clashes, but I also have to show you guys, there are lawmakers who are saying everything is peaceful. There's nothing to see here. Okay, so this right here was very different. Again, the journalists who cover this story every single night, they don't just show up every once in a while, they're here every night. They pointed out, hey, we've never seen this helicopter before, let alone a Black Hawk helicopter circling the area all night. It wasn't just one pass by, it was all night. Now, I don't want to speculate too hard. Just because this is a Black Hawk helicopter, yeah, it's most likely a U.S. military helicopter belonging to the Army, but I don't want to speculate. It's not like I can say, hey, that's Pete Hegseth in the helicopter. I'm not going to say that. But what I will say is, and this is accurate, we've never seen this before. We've never seen a helicopter circle the area like we're seeing here. And again, this is just a day after President Trump said, yes, send in the troops. So again, I don't want to speculate too hard, but what I will say is we've never seen this before. Okay, so for those of you that have been watching my videos, you may have noticed in the background, I keep seeing these people with green hats or green helmets, and they always seem to be in the area, they always seem to be filming. Well, this is what you're seeing. So basically, this is the National Lawyers Guild. They are in the area to document if a protester gets arrested. They've been around for a while, since 1966. Basically, they are in the area to document if you get arrested, they can be a witness to say what you did or didn't do in the area. You guys can go do some more research into what this is, but yeah, this is the National Lawyers Guild. Those are the guys with the green hats, also known as legal observers. Now, recently, Oregon lawmakers actually decided to visit this building, and to be honest with you, I'm actually shocked that happened. Again, we've never seen this. The only people we've seen visit this building is Tom Homan. Other than that, we haven't actually seen any other lawmakers or officials go to visit the inside of this building, and here's what they had to say.
Some Oregon lawmakers were in Portland recently to tour the federal ICE facility in South Portland.
Fox 12's Spencer Shaw spoke with them today about the tour. So, Spencer, what was their goal, and did they get what they were looking for?
Well, Pete, Nora, the U.S. representatives and senators who toured this ICE facility behind me say their goal was to get the ICE facility to answer their questions about ICE's enforcement tactics. How do they decide who to arrest? How do they ensure due process is being followed? And do they help facilitate attorney and medical access? And these representatives and lawmakers say that none of those questions have been able to be.
Now, one thing I noticed is that one of the questions was, why is this entire building boarded up? Why are there burn and fire marks on your building? Why is there graffiti that says really bad things? Like, what is going on over here? Why is there a blue line in front of the building that says do not cross? Why are there burn marks in the streets? I'm noticing that wasn't one of the questions. It looks like they're just focusing on policies. That's a question as a taxpayer I wish that these members of Congress were asking, but it looks like they were looking more internally inside of the building.
He answered.
I will tell you that I am not at all satisfied with the answers and the evasion that we got.
Over and over again, when we were trying to get concrete answers about attorney access, masking policies, details about specific cases, we were told by the ICE officials here, not far from here, that this was federal policy. This wasn't their beat.
They kept blaming.
Mind you, the whole time I have covered this story for the last 5 months, this is the first time I have ever seen any congressional members actually address and talk about what's going on right here in Portland in this federal building, which, by the way, on my YouTube, I cover congressional members every single day. That's like what I do here. And I track congressional members. Never once have I seen any of these congressional members or a senator ever actually come to this building and talk about what's going on. Again, a building that's surrounded in plywood, a building that we pay for our tax money. With our tax money.
That's above my pay grade. That goes back to the White House. Who in the White House? They could not tell us.
Even after a disappointing visit to the ICE facility in South Portland, a group of Oregon's Democratic lawmakers took their questions to our nation's capital, and still no answers.
We have been lobbying for a phone call with the head of ICE. We've been making request after request, and we keep hearing, we're looking into it. 2 U.S. senators cannot get a conversation with the head of ICE about actions that are taking place.
Even without answers, they say they are taking action. Senator Wyden has introduced a bill to the Senate that would limit the use of face masks by federal officers.
And as you guys know, this has always been a very big push right now, more so on the state level. And I just want to point out right here, this is literally somebody who could probably be arrested for obstruction, blocking off this Homeland Security officer. But when it comes to the removal of face masks, on my own YouTube channel, we've seen California, they passed a law on the state level, and Illinois looks like they're going to be the next state to sort of dabble into the possibility of doing the same thing. It looks like they're getting close. But on the federal level, there is a small push to possibly remove the masks of ICE agents or federal agents involved in these deportations. But what you're seeing right here, this is not a mask to really even conceal their identity. They're wearing gas masks due to medical reasons. So I don't know how they would get around that within the law.
And Senator Merkley is sponsoring a bill that would require law enforcement officers and vehicles to be marked. But recent comments made by President Donald Trump are raising new concerns.
But take a look at Portland sometime. These are wild, these are crazy people, and they're trying to burn down buildings, including federal buildings.
And by the way, President Trump only found out about this story like 2 or 3 weeks ago. This is brand new as far as how long this story has been going on. He just found out about it, and it's because you guys keep promoting the videos, keep liking the videos, keep promoting Honey Badger Mom and other journalists. The clips and the videos he saw, it's from the clips that we have highlighted. He's seeing the exact same things you guys have seen over the last few months, by the way. So he is just now finding out about this.
We're going to get out there, and we're going to do a pretty big number of those people in Portland.
Portland does not need the military. We do not want them. We do not need them. We do not welcome them to come here under his orders.
Now, another point made by these lawmakers is when they came to the ICE facility for their tour yesterday, they said they did not see any protesters outside, let alone violent ones.
Again, I just have to point this out. I'm trying to give you guys the full picture for the new people here. Even if you hate ICE, I am glad you're here. I want to have a peaceful dialogue. These lawmakers are saying, we don't see any protesting. What are you talking about? This building is not trying to look cool with the plywood and the gray paint. This building has been destroyed. In fact, there is now a $4 million contract to repair the building that me and you have to pay for.
Trump has repeatedly claimed. And even today, looking around, there are not very many protesters.
And these guys know it. Like, obviously, you guys, there's no protesters here. I know. But I just showed you guys a video less than 24 hours ago. I showed you the video. The protesters are there, guys. Every single night. We've seen it on my own channel. We just can't deny it. I wish it wasn't happening. I wish we had peace, but I'm just trying to report the story accurately for you guys.
One or two down the street holding signs, but earlier people who were standing directly in front of the building were working for a Portland Immigration Rights Coalition, handing out these pamphlets that have both English and Spanish instructions on what your rights are when dealing with immigration patrol. We reached out to ICE ourselves to see if they could answer our questions, and we have not heard back. Reporting live in South Portland, Spencer Schott, Fox 12 Oregon.
Okay. Now, just to show you guys, this is what the building used to look like before the windows were all boarded up. This is back in June. And you'll notice these protesters have zero opposition. This entire building just got destroyed. What you're hearing in the background, that is a megaphone telling people to please back up. But again, the reason why I'm showing you guys this is that I want to provide evidence. I'm not just lying about these members of Congress. I'm not just trying to create a narrative. Nope, this has been going on for a while now. This is about when I started to, well, a little bit more before this, is when I started to track the story, and I couldn't believe, like, is nobody going to talk about this? There are protesters shattering, you know, all of these windows. I mean, it's really bad stuff here. And so obviously, like, this is not a thing anymore. The entire building has been boarded up. And again, there's a $4 million contract to protect this building furthermore. And now troops are going to be deployed to Portland. Okay, so that is the current update as we look at the Portland Federal Building. Yeah, there are still clashes. Less than 24 hours ago, we had some clashes. Now, make sure to please go follow Honey Badger Mom. Make sure to please subscribe to my channel. Please promote this video. Please like, comment, share what you think so others can actually see what's going on. This is a very unfortunate situation. I want us to all come together to please have peace, but it looks like it's gone too far. The lawmakers have shown up, it looks like, just a little too late. The Portland police have not made an arrest since June, and it looks like the Trump administration has no choice but to send in reinforcements in the fashion of possibly the U.S. military or at least more federal agents.